Flashbacks for the video, man. We got, you know what I'm saying, most shocking times with WWE. So I know it's a lot of shocking memories. I remember. God damn. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. Hopefully y'all having a wonderful day. I remember that. I ain't gonna lie.
After seeing how things ended for CM Punk in WWE, it seemed impossible that he would ever return, especially considering some things said about the company in his time away.
I turned to Hunter and I said, I do not need to wrestle you. You need to wrestle me because I do not want to be here and I do not want to be anything less. I will go somewhere else and I will get more fucking over because I know I can.
Including when he joined All Elite Wrestling in 2021.
August 13th, 2005, I left professional wrestling. August 20th, 2021, I'm back.
In AEW, it seemed like Punk had found his home until it all
I ain't gonna lie.
down.
What did I ever do?
I never watched AE wrestling. AE wrestling is boring to me. TNA have gotten boring to me, so the only thing I watch now is WWE. But you know what I'm saying? It's a love-hate relationship with CM Punk with me. You feel me? I like him sometimes, I hate him sometimes. Especially with the shit that been going on with Drew. Like, he been fucking up with Drew shit. But he did say he's gonna make his life a living hell. He did say that. But hell, back in the day, shit, I used to love CM Punk. I ain't gonna lie to you. I still do, a little bit.
In this world, to deserve an empty-headed, fucking dumb fuck like Hangman Adam Page to go out on national television and fucking go into business for himself.
Although many things can happen and a lot can change in 9 years, including the people themselves, to see Punk return in Chicago of all places at Survivor Series 2023...
I ain't gonna lie, I was in this bitch screaming, man. But I was in this bitch screaming.
It's a little bit corny and it's a little bit cheesy and it's not going to sound like CM Punk. But I've changed.
I'm a different person. He's a different person.
I'm glad Triple H gave him another chance, too.
It's one thing to not return for personal issues, but being medically disqualified is a different story. This was the case for Edge in 2011, when he was forced to retire due to a history of neck issues.
As the MRI showed that
I remember this, too.
that I have to retire.
His injuries were thought to be so severe, even one more bump could cause serious problems. But after seeking medical advice, getting another surgery, and working hard to get back in, there was hope.
We thought that, yes, there was minimal risk, but we ended up feeling that it was safe.
So then when Edge got physical in a WWE ring at SummerSlam 2019, it gave fans the belief we would see him wrestle again. It was a half a year later that the Rated R Superstar returned to action at the 2020 Royal Rumble. It was a moment for the books, and nothing is
Bob and they be screaming for that one as well. No cap.
I got a second surgery.
Edge was one of them superstars like CM Punk, like back in the day, like when they was healed, like you hated them motherfuckers. Like nowadays, like recently, the heels now, like you kinda like the heels now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day, boy, you hated the fucking heels. Like JBL, goddamn Edge. Nigga, I hated the Miz back in the day like a motherfucker. I hated the Miz. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
And then I busted my ass. I got in the best shape of my life at 46 years old so I could step back in here and end my career on my terms. But I hope that all of you join me on this ride.
Stone Cold Steve Austin's return to the ring was a bit of a different case to Edge's. Sure, Austin also had a bad neck, but Steve voluntarily hung up his boots at WrestleMania 19. Then, despite years of speculation, fans have given up hope the Rattlesnake would ever wrestle again.
To me, just like going back for one match, being like, man, why? You know, what am I proving? If I can't be 110% Stone Cold Steve Austin, or if I couldn't have been, whatever, I'm not going to do it now. You know, it just wasn't worth doing. So I just said, man, stay away.
Yes, WrestleMania was returning to his home state of Texas in 2022, but surely the ship had sailed when it came to having a match. Steve was 57, let's not forget, and if matches against the likes of Randy Orton, CM Punk, and Brock Lesnar had never materialized, then there was no way Austin would go back on his retirement now. But in wrestling, you just never know. As Stone Cold main evented
Shit, John Cena said he ain't doing shit.
It was built up
No,
to being a segment,
rough.
so given the hype and advertising, fans were fully
Hey, he broke my heart with that
Austin and Owens didn't disappoint, working a throwback Attitude Era style brawl that turned back the clock.
I always said I would never come back, but then I also said if the stars ever aligned perfectly that I would. I was killing KO out there. I truly was asking. And I told him when we went in the back, I said, man, I can't believe you didn't throw a receipt. And he just laughed because his job was to take care of me.
That was a hell of a match, though, too.
And this crowd is so faithful, so loyal, so rambunctious. They're behind everything you do.
Just like with the rest of his career, they say all good things must come to an end. However, The Undertaker's mythical WrestleMania streak seemed as though it would live forever.
Oh,
It felt like it would only stop once the Phenom retires, seemingly undefeated on the grandest stage.
You know, it was whoever was the main event, and then there was this. Then there was the streak. You know, those two things were the two kind of.
They could have let it got to 30 though. God
The
damn.
WWE in 2014 as the year Taker would finally lose at Mania. Regardless if you agreed with the decision, you'll always remember where you were and how you felt. When the referee hit the mat for 3 as Brock Lesnar pinned the Undertaker at
Not gonna lie.
WrestleMania 30.
Them 10 seconds after they hit 3, bro. I was so shocked. Me and my uncle were so shocked. We thought it was a 2 count. Really. But when we seen that goddamn, cause I think we had music or something playing. But when it hit 20-1 or 21-1, boy, we cut everything off. Boy, that shit broke my goddamn heart.
The streak is over.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the dead man, I fear no evil.
The wise man.
I walk beside
Brock Lesnar.
And I went, holy shit, 21-1. How do we make that happen? And Brock just said, we're going to conquer that fucking streak in WrestleMania.
Who in the wrestling industry it has enough credentials to actually break the streak? Really, honestly, is there somebody else out there? No, I don't think so.
The Undertaker main evented numerous WrestleManias in his time, a feat that until 2019 no female wrestler had ever achieved. This was the year the stars aligned and everything came together, to the point where there was absolutely no question that the women had to headline Mania. It seemed like it was only a matter of time given the waves that had been made in previous years. It all just needed that one big story, and Becky Lynch's ascent was exactly that. Becky believed when no one else did that she could main event WrestleMania.
I said to my friend, I said, I'm gonna main event WrestleMania one day, and I said, just watch me.
In 2018, Lynch's character developed, and fans got behind her to where she was now the hottest star in the company.
Becky Lynch takes it all.
Definitely was.
Since 2019, women have main evented WrestleMania again, with Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks closing out night 1 of the event in 2021.
Now Belair powering Banks up.
That was the first one.
Bianca Belair was the win.
One of the greatest women's champions of all time made her WWE
Mickey
return
James.
in 2022 Royal Rumble. For one night only, Mickey James.
I used to love Mickey James so bad.
Doing so whilst being signed to TNA.
Oh God, I used to
holding
love
the
Mickey
Impact
James so
Women's
bad.
Championship.
To create history in 2022 in the world of wrestling is hard to do. I honestly didn't think I would ever be back here again.
This opened the door for both companies to begin a working relationship, although it took a few years for this to truly come to fruition.
TNA Knockouts champion Jordan Grace.
In 2020,
I'm kind of glad that they did that too. Cause I wish they would have did that back in the day. Not going to lie to y'all. I wish they would have did that back in the day. That ain't going to hold y'all. It would have been so much better too back in the day.
NXT and TNA began a talent exchange with various wrestlers going back and forth. This would have been unfathomable back in, say, 2010, but TNA were now a very different company. Plus, WWE were under new ownership too.
It's exciting to just be able to branch out.
Vince McMahon would have never.
Terms about what door people go through, or anything like that.
This has to be one of the biggest matches in NXT history.
Oh yeah.
Even Joe Hendry.
Say his name and he appears. years, Joe Hendry is here in NXT.
This wasn't actually the first time the two promotions did business of this nature. Back in 2012, we saw Christian Cage return to TNA for one night. This was because the company had allowed Ric Flair to appear at the WWE Hall of Fame so he could be inducted as part of the Four Horsemen. Speaking of the Hall of Fame, and one of the last people we'd expect to see being inducted, given everything that had happened between him and WWE, we're talking about $300,000 when last signed the company at No Mercy 1999, before showing up on WCW Monday Night Show the next day. Then when he was publicly fired on TV after the WWF acquired WCW, Jerry used some of the money he saved from holding up the Federation to start TNA in 2002. Jeff departed TNA in 2014 and successfully completed WWE-sponsored rehab in 2017. With his life turned around, Jarrett entered the 2018 Hall of Fame.
But hypothetically speaking, house phone rings, you look at the caller ID, and there's a 203 area code. Well, we want you back on the big show. You'd have to at least consider that, right?
Absolutely. I mean, considering is you got to consider any and all options.
Well, I guess you could say it's official now, right?
Double J returned to the company full-time the next year as a backstage producer. Jarrett's return is proof that time heals all wounds in wrestling. Perhaps nothing embodied this more than when the Ultimate Warrior came back in 2014. Like Jeff, the Warrior went into the Hall of Fame. However,
then the next day fast,
announced the Warrior would be a pre-order bonus in the upcoming WWE video game.
You can engage the battle as the Ultimate Warrior.
Warrior had also held WWF up for money when he threatened to no-show the 1991 SummerSlam unless he was given a contract equal to that of Hulk Hogan. Warrior won the show but was later suspended and fired for breach of contract following a legal battle. Warrior returned in both 1992 and 1996, but it just wasn't the same, especially in 96. On both occasions, it wasn't long till he was gone again.
It wasn't as good as I remember it, because things had changed.
He was not going to sell lots of merchandise. We don't need him on our roster.
The self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior hit
it's before my time,
put
so.
out by WWE in 2005 appeared to be the nail in the coffin for Warrior's chances of ever returning.
Have they ever once approached you about coming back?
98 was the last time they approached me for an offer that's bigger than the money guys are making today.
What led to you not accepting it? The previous disrespect?
Yeah.
But 9 years on, it was time for the Warrior to come back. He didn't know how long he had left. Plus, the WWE were eager to reconcile. And so the Ultimate Warrior headlined the Hall of Fame class of 2014.
The Warrior went around, he made amends with some of the talent that was there. He was on his best behavior.
He cut an emotional promo on the next night on Raw that eerily foretold his demise.
I am Ultimate Warrior. You are the Ultimate Warrior fans. The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
As just a day later, the Warrior tragically passed away following a heart attack.
R.I.P. man.
Bret Hart's return story is similar to the Warrior's in that the Hitman's also involved going into the Hall of Fame.
2006 or 2007 asked me if I would ever go back to WWF. And I would have told never in a million years.
The WWE planned to put out another hit piece DVD similar to the Warriors, this time about Bret, where it would be called Screwed.
I would never have anything to do with anything called Screwed. Like, I would just never, I didn't have you guys make money off what you did to me. Like,
however, these plans were shelved in favor of a much more positive DVD once the Excellence of Execution agreed to be involved. Following the Hall of Fame, we wouldn't see Bret on WWE programming again until 2010. This after the Hitman agreed to return for a match at the upcoming WrestleMania. Before that he and longtime rival Shawn Michaels buried the hatchet in a segment live on Raw.
Not gonna lie, bro. Most of these videos, it's been a long time. Like it really don't feel like it been that long. But it's have been that long. Like I remember watching these videos 2010. I was 10, going 11.
I remember saying, I just want to see him in person, and we'll bury the hatchet. When I saw Shawn, he was in the catering, I believe. And I remember I said, just stop. Let's do it in the ring.
Given all that had been said and everything that had gone down between the two, it was surreal to see them finally make amends.
When Shawn hugged me, he told me, he goes, I'm so sorry. So sorry for everything that happened.
Shawn and I made a piece that was very real. And I'm proud of that. Proud that I dug deep into my own sort of soul and said, I'll make peace with this guy, even though I wasn't sure if it was the right thing to do. Since we buried the hatchet that day, he's always been pretty respectful and been pretty honest with me.
When we think of all the things Eric Bischoff did to gain leverage on the WWF during the Monday Night Wars,
remember back when Raw was taped every other week and Nitro was live. And I decided to go on the air 2 minutes before Raw, and I gave away everything that happened on Raw so you people didn't have to watch it.
Whoa! They did that? Oh, that's messy.
Seeing him show up on WWE television in the summer of 2002 was a true OMG.
They did that? I never knew they did that.
The company had previously tried to bring Eric in for the invasion angle shortly after WCW closed its doors. However, Bischoff said no since there were no concrete plans for what his role would be. A year later, though, Eric agreed to come in as Raw general manager. The old saying, if you can't beat them, join them, rings true here. But since WWE were the only game in town, for Bischoff, it was an easy decision.
Nitro beat Raw 84 weeks in a row.
Damn.
And I came this close to putting this company out of business. I am here to put the E in WWE.
Eric's most famous feud in WWE came against Stone Cold, someone who Bischoff famously fired in WCW. The program with Eric was a fresh start for Austin.
I never knew that. That's crazy.
Yeah, he had in 2002.
That shit just shot the fuck out of me. I ain't gonna lie.
Steve's heel turn in 2001 completely shocked the wrestling world. Seeing the man that helped WWF reach the pinnacle by raging against the authority, only to sign with the regime, just didn't sit right with people.
Got the Rock there.
What the hell is Austin doing? Oh, man, this is too much, Paul.
Hey, Stone Cold didn't give a fuck. I ain't gonna lie. That motherfucker didn't give a fuck.
A great fan is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Well, Leah did not deserve that.
Even though the turn led to some good character development for the Rattlesnake, fans simply refused to boo him. The night after Survivor Series 2001 acted as a nice reset for the WWF. The old Stone Cold was back, and we were all happy to see the back of the invasion angle. Perhaps the only heel turn that exceeds Austin in terms of scale is Hulk Hogan in 1996. The Hulkster was the most logical choice to be the third man to Hall and Nash, forming the New World Order.
After what he just said at the Trump thing, well, I tell you, man, Hulk Hogan still.
Hogan came down the ramp, dropped the leg on Macho Man, and the rest is history.
When I went out, it looked like I was coming out to save Macho Man.
Hogan arrived. What is he doing? Is he the third man? He's the third man. What the hell? Hulk Hogan has betrayed WCW. You can call this the New World.
I wish I was born back in the day by then. I know that shit was lit by then.
Go to the Yankees. When we think of historic moments in modern times that shook the industry.
Oh, when Cody came back? Oh, wow. I was going to say, if he ain't throw this one at him, he tripping.
Things had ended badly during his previous run with the company, plus Cody had been one of the EVPs that started with All Elite Wrestling. The American Nightmare also wasn't shy in taking digs at WWE.
But this isn't like the other wrestling company we came from. This isn't an invisible wall right here. I could easily step through. And I know we're not in the business of renaming people like Gunnar McGillibuddy or whatever the hell it is. It's about the 14 years it took me to go from undesirable to goddamn desirable.
An undisclosed personal issue resulted
I ain't gonna count.
letting his AEW contract expire.
And then with that too, Mr. McMahon, he let a lot of good talent go. Like it was so much good talent that I could name off for the right of my head that left and went to other companies that they didn't get their full potential to. But
Someone told me to save this promo, but I honestly don't know if I'm going to get the chance, so I'm going to do it now.
I'm working here without a contract. I'm not even on payroll anymore. I'm working here on a handshake deal.
Damn.
From there, it was clear he was going back to WWE. At WrestleMania, Cody made an epic return that continued his incredible story arc in wrestling.
That's more than one word. I didn't know who the fuck that was. I ain't gonna lie.
I stumbled across this quote. It said, "A man often finds his destiny."
I remember when he walked. I remember when he got fired.
Everyone thinks the decision to return to WWE was difficult. It was not. When the time came, hey, do you want to do this?
even though I never thought it would happen. It's the easiest decision I've ever made because maybe I'm a slow learner, but I think I'm the best wrestler in the entire world. I really do, but the only way to prove it is be here and beat the best. And that's no disrespect to anybody else. It was time for me to come back.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to
No cap. It's like everybody that now watching has got older, came back, you know what I'm saying? Even people that stayed like Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Miz, just so on. Like people that never left and went to another company and came back, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying, how everybody is today. But and I know there's more shit, you know what I'm saying, that's gonna happen. So I can't wait to react to it. That being said, see you when I see y'all wrestling flashbacks. You did your thing with this one. All these videos was accurate. Showing up the Undertaker one. I felt the Undertaker one from the bottom of my heart. Not gonna even lie to y'all. That being said, see you when I see y'all. Let's ride and have a good Sunday. I don't know if y'all see my previous two videos. I just uploaded them last night. And I had been did them bitches like Tuesday, Wednesday. But anyway, we're not doing Mr. Ball on Sunday. Probably gonna do it Tuesday or Wednesday. Probably Tuesday. So make sure y'all be on the lookout for that. Being said, see you when I see y'all. Let's ride.
What?